Hello everyone, today I'm going to be telling you about the cost of living in Sedona, Arizona. I get a lot of people that call me and they get sticker shock when they think about buying a home, and I tell them what the prices are. So if you've ever thought of moving to, retiring in, or living in Sedona, Arizona, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you everything about the cost of living here. The channel is Living in Northern Arizona, where I will teach you everything you ever needed to know about living in the northern half of the state, and that would be Sedona, Verde Valley, Flagstaff area, Prescott area, Payson Pine, Strawberry. If you are landing here for the first time, welcome. I hope you would do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell, because what that does is it helps other people who are looking for this type of information to find the video and to find the channel. My name's Dickenson. I live here in beautiful Sedona, Arizona. I sell real estate up here, so if you ever have a real estate question, if you want to know about what kind of houses are for sale, if you want to see just a list of homes for sale in the city that you're interested in, give me a call, text, email, or go into the description below where you'll see a link to my website. You could set up a 20-30 minute phone call, Zoom call, and we could talk about everything you wanted to know. So some people just call me because they have questions, they're not sure about Arizona, and we have a conversation, and then they're either like rule it out or they're like, ooh, let's go. Some people just call, they're ready to buy a house and want me to help them find a place to live. So go ahead and do that, because my YouTube community makes my best clients. So I'm going to start with utilities. What are the utilities like to live here? I'm going to use my own home as an example. I live in Village of Oak Creek, which is on the outskirts of Sedona, the unincorporated area. I have a very average size 1,650 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath home. So the utility bills here in Sedona when I first moved in was about $200 a month in the wintertime and about $100 a month in the summertime, electricity to heat and cool the place. Now, I did a couple of years ago get solar panels installed, and basically my utilities are zero. So it's questionable whether the solar panels are worth it, because there is an expense to have them installed and put in and set up, but I'm not going to go into that today. When it comes to water, I have Big Park Water Company, which is a private water company, serves Village of Oak Creek area. I pay on average $20 to $40 a month for water. You're going to say about $30 a month for a private water company. Internet, I have been using Suddenlink satellite internet, which is costing me about $75 a month, but recently I upgraded to Starlink. Now, Starlink is Elon Musk's satellite internet provider. That will cost me $110 a month. The issue with that, it's supposedly way faster. The neighbors that have it like it, but what they do is they send you a giant box of equipment with pretty much very limited instructions on how to install it. So I've had this box in my living room for a month, and today someone's going to come, one of my friends is going to come help me install it. So I should have much faster internet. There are other providers too, CenturyLink, Suddenlink. They're also supposed to be good, but I'm going with Starlink because they've got a reputation of being very fast. Okay, property tax. Property tax in Arizona is not that bad. Now, the formula is a little bit difficult to figure out because it's based on the assessed value. It's something like 0.72% of assessed value. I'm actually not sure if that's it. What I do is just a rule of thumb. So say you have a $500,000 home, your property tax will probably run you about $2,500 a year. So rule of thumb, high level rule of thumb, is maybe half a percentage point of the home value at the time that the tax bill is due. Now, there are other places in Sedona that have these special assessments added on based on the HOA. I did encounter one recently where the property tax was much higher because they had some kind of a sewer assessment put in that small subdivision. So you definitely want to look it up when you're buying a home. But in general, Arizona, 0.5% for the home value. Property tax, not all that bad. Of course, any property tax is too much, but hey, that's just how it is. Okay, so HOA fees vary greatly within Sedona. Some areas have no HOA at all. Others, like say Village of Oak Creek, for instance, has a very small HOA fee. I think it's $210 for the entire year. It recently went up. It was $180 a year when I moved in here. It's $210, $220 a year right now. Some of the subdivisions, I've seen $800 to $1,200 for the entire year. And that's not so bad, or semi-annually. So it depends on where you are. Now, if you have a townhouse or a condo, your HOA fee will probably be higher. And I would say generally townhomes might have a $200 to $450 a month HOA fee. Now realize with townhouses, you have other stuff going on. You have them maintaining your lawn, you have them maintaining the roof in some of them. Sometimes you get extra amenities like a clubhouse or a tennis court. Some of them have pools. So if you're buying a townhouse, or any place actually, if you're buying and they've got an HOA fee, you're going to want to read and see what is included in that fee, because sometimes it's worth it. Like say you have a $200 a month townhouse fee. Well, if they're paying for a pool and doing all your landscape and exterior maintenance, that's not bad, because a pool guy is going to cost you at least $100, lawn service $100 a month too. So you want to look at what you're getting for that HOA fee. Now, some places have a very high HOA fee. I was just looking, and there's one home for sale in Seven Canyons where the HOA fee comes out to about $3,300 a month, so that's over $3,000 a month. There's another place in Eagle Mountain Ranch where it's $4,400 a month, and I looked it up. It's actually charged quarterly. So one of them I saw $12,500 a quarter and $17,000 a quarter. That's quite high, but these are in really prestigious neighborhoods. The one in Seven Canyons, for instance, is under contract for like $1.8 million-ish. The one in Eagle Mountain Ranch is a $20 million home. So it's not too surprising that they would have an HOA, and of course that is the anomaly, but overall you will have some HOA fee. Again, some neighborhoods don't have any of them, but you know, an HOA is nice. It helps enforce the rules of the neighborhood, and if you're worried about short-term rentals, it is good to get an HOA, because that will prevent a short-term rental being next to you. And of course, if you're looking for a short-term rental, then you want one without an HOA. But that doesn't mean if there's an HOA you can't have a short-term rental. You just need to read up on the CC&Rs, which are the rules and restrictions for that neighborhood. Okay, groceries. Groceries here in Sedona are a little more expensive than, say, Phoenix. I know I maybe guesstimate about 10 to 20% more on groceries. I know when I go back to Chandler, you know, I'm used to the grocery bill, and I go back to Chandler, say, and do some shopping, I'm like, whoa, this is cheap. And just one example I could think of, over the summer, I really love cherries, and you would buy a bag of cherries, which made me like a pound and a half of cherries. Here in Clark's, they were, the cheapest I saw them over the summer were $6.99 a bag, and at one point they were $9.99 a bag for a nice, big, beautiful bag of red cherries. And I went to Chandler for the weekend. I walked into the grocery store, and there were the same size bag of cherries for like $3.99. So I'm like, whoa, that's a bargain. Really, probably not a bargain. That's probably what normal people pay for groceries, but groceries here a little bit higher. So you'll just have to get used to that. But gas, on the other hand, is a little bit cheaper up here in Sedona than in Phoenix. I think the last time I checked, it was about 30 cents a gallon less here in the Village of Oak Creek than when I had filled up my last trip to Phoenix. So surprising, but yet gas a little bit cheaper. So transportation, there are not a lot of public transportation options here in Sedona. I do want you to know that there is a shuttle service that goes from Sedona to Phoenix and back at least one time a day. There's another shuttle that will run you between Verde Valley and Sedona. I think it goes from Cottonwood to Sedona. There is a shuttle that will take you to, there are like 2 or 3 shuttle spots that in the busy season, you'll actually have to go to the shuttle and take it to the trailheads and back. I usually buy the trailhead pass for the year and only go to the trail on the days that it's not too busy, because I don't like the shuttle. And so I will spend $20 per year. That's actually a good deal. Now, it's very hard to get a ride to, say, an Uber to Cottonwood, but it's possible. There are a couple of people here that will do that, but it's best to know them direct. You know, give them a call and arrange your ride through the Uber, then like to open up the app and wait for somebody. I have only looked into that one time, so there may be, by the time you're looking, there might be more choices, but again, not a lot of public transportation here in Sedona. Okay, housing is by far the largest expense in Sedona, and it's by far what makes the cost of living so high here in Sedona. So let me start with rent. I don't do rentals very often, but I can look at the MLS and I can connect you if you're looking for rentals to see what's available. But I would recommend you working with a property manager if you're looking to rent something in Sedona. So when I look in the MLS right now, the very cheapest place to rent in Sedona is over on Cortez, which is, and you'll probably find between $2,800 and $6,500 a month rent. Now there are a couple of them popping up on the MLS. There's one for $10,000 a month, one for $25,000 a month. Most of those are going to be because they're short-term options. You're going to come in for 1 month or 2 months and rent that place, and of course it's a big luxury home that you probably wouldn't stay in for a year. You're just coming for a month. Say you're coming over Christmas and you want to stay in a big beautiful place. There are the $10,000 to $25,000 a month rental places here, but the bulk of single families probably between $3,000 and $600 for rent. Now to purchase a home here, the prices are very high. Now sometimes I have people call and they say, hey, I want to buy a home in Sedona, I'm going to be here in a couple of months, I got $500,000 and I want a single family home, 3-bed, 2-bath with no fixing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that will not find a single family home. You can't find a single family home right now for $500,000, and if you do, I won't want to say you can't. You might find a 2-bed, 2-bath, $1,200 that needs a lot of fixing for that price. Now, that doesn't mean 6 months from now, a year from now, the prices will change. You know, right now it's prices have stabled out. They could come down, they may just stay. But right now, if you're looking for a single family home, you probably couldn't find one for less than $650,000. Now, the bulk of the single family home prices, I'm going to say if you're looking between, let me see. So if you're looking for a single family home in the, 1,800 to 2,200 square foot range, so that's a very popular home size, you're probably on the MLS right now, the range I saw, $650,000 for the smallest one that needed a lot of work, and up to $1.5 million for that size range. Now, of course, there are many mansions in Sedona, so if you want something, I see up to $20 million homes for sale. But the bulk, like I'm saying, if you want the average American-sized single-family home, you're going to pay between $700,000 and $1.5 million. Now, if you want a manufactured home on land, now those could be a good choice, especially the ones that are newer, on their own land, that are a double wide, for instance. You can get a regular mortgage on that. You could even get an FHA, VA, or conventional. Right now, there's one listed in the Village for $425,000, but there are 3 in West Sedona. Actually, I have one listed in West Sedona. Double wide mobile home on land, nice one, nice size, about $499,000. So that's what you're going to pay right now. Now, if you want a manufactured home in a park, like a mobile home park, the parks here are 55 plus. The very smallest, cheapest one right now is $43,000, and there's one that is almost $500,000 in a park. So that means you don't own the land and you have a land lease fee or a lot fee or a lot rental fee, whatever you want to call it. But in Sedona, the lot rental fees are running from $800 to $1,200 a month, depending on what park you are and what the terms are when you buy into the park. So just realize manufactured home is kind of a nice retirement choice, but you are going to have that lot fee if you go into a park, and if you're going to buy one on land in the very nice West Sedona neighborhood, say Harmony Hills, you're going to pay close to $500,000 for that. So townhouse could be a good option for you in Sedona. In fact, if you live out of state and just come here for 2 or 3 months at a time, townhouse could be a very good choice because you have the HOA doing all all of your exterior maintenance and landscaping, so you don't have to worry about hiring a landscaper. Will the landscaper show up when you're gone? Because the HOA will pay for all that, and so that's another thing built into the HOA fee. Right now, prices on townhomes have dropped a little bit, and you can buy into one for about $395,000 is the cheapest price. I see them right now listed for up to $1.1 million. Of course, that would be a luxury townhouse, but the basic, nice 2-3 bedroom, 2-bath townhomes in Sedona are going from $400,000, for the bulk of them, between $400,000 and $600,000. Okay, so dining out. There are actually a lot of restaurants here in Sedona, so you will have a lot of choices for dining out. There are very few fast food places though, so probably you're going to have to go into a sit-down style restaurant or a diner. So I go out with my friends probably at least once a week. I go out with somebody for lunch, say, or even dinner. So if 2 of us are going out to lunch to a typical restaurant here in Sedona, the cheapest you could get away with would be like a fast food style or a cafe, maybe $45. It'd be tough to have 2 eat for $45. Most of the time when I go out with a friend, we're going to pay $75 to $80 for 2 for lunch. Or if you're going to dinner, you know, maybe $80 to $150, depending if you have a drink. If you have a drink or 2, of course, that's going to make your bill higher. Typically, I go out with a friend. 1 week she'll pay, the next week I'll pay, and we take turns. So that makes it kind of fair. So restaurants, again, kind of expensive. There are a lot of them, but not that many fast food places. Now, some of the restaurants will give you a discount if you're a local. If any of the Lisa Doll restaurants, if you're local, forget it, you will not get a discount there, but some of them, they like the locals and they will give us a slight discount on a bill if they know that you live here in Sedona. So home maintenance. Some maintenance can be a problem. Some of the contractors are easy to get hold of. So if you have a roofing issue or if you have an HVAC issue, there are quite a few choices for very good qualified roofing contractors and air conditioning, heating contractors, and so that's not that much of a problem. If you're looking for an electrician or a general handyman or even a landscaper, it's going to be hard to get somebody out. You might have to go several guys for a quote. Landscaping, for instance, I pay $100 a month for landscaping. I have granite front and back, so there's really not a lot for them to do. Pull weeds and rake up the pine needles are the primary thing. Now, I've asked my landscape company about 500 times to just blow the spider webs and the pine needles off and the dust off of the patio, and that seems to be too difficult for them to handle. So you're just going to have to sweep your own patio. I've had several landscape guys to come out and give me another quote, like maybe I would get a different landscaper, and 3 or 4 of them have come out or said they were going to come out and then they never show. So I do keep with the same landscapers. I say they are very good at pulling the weeds and raking the pine needles and even putting that pre-emergent stuff so the weeds don't grow. Bad at sweeping the front porch or the back patio or the driveway. So it's kind of a give and take on some of the landscapers or some of the contractors or handyman. It's like take what you can get, because there's not a lot of providers here. But I have been happy with the roofers and the HVAC guys, so that's just something to keep in mind. If you're going to come here and think I'll just hire everything out, that's good, but you could have a little bit of a stumbling block when it comes to finding providers for some of your home maintenance stuff. So that's it. My name's Dawn Dickinson. I live in beautiful Sedona, Arizona, the channel Living in Northern Arizona. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I post videos every single week about living in the northern half of the state. I also sell real estate, so if you have a real estate question, give me a call, text, email, schedule a Zoom. My contact information is always in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you come back and see what I have posted for you again next week.